We have a shocking Bronny James update as his agent, as well as LeBron James agent Rich Paul, has spoken out directly about the Toronto Raptors drafting Bronny James, particularly with their second round pick. And it's pretty insane to have an agent directly bring up Masai Ujiri as well as the Raptors organization as a potential destination to land LeBron James' son, which has obviously Raptors fans pointing to the fact that, hey, could we be bringing LeBron to the Raptors in the future? We're going to break down all of those reports in this video. But folks, if you want to stay up to date with everything regarding this team, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because we're delivering daily, twice a day coverage on the Toronto Raptors this off season because it's going to be some wild stuff. Some big decisions have to be made. But let's dive straight into it because really a shocking report came out from Rich Paul. Basically, he came out and directly said that there are other teams that love Bronny beyond the LA Lakers, obviously the current team of where LeBron James is playing. The Minnesota Timberwolves, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Toronto Raptors, to name a few. Minnesota would love to get Bronny in, but I don't know who their owner is going to be. The Mavericks GM, Nico Harrison, is like an uncle to Bronny James, and if the Lakers don't take him at 55, Dallas would take him at 58 and give him a guaranteed deal. Masai Ujiri, the Raptors president, loves Bronny James, and they could take him without even seeing him at 31. Workouts aren't everything for these teams. So that's a pretty wild update out there for Rich Paul, who's obviously Bronny James' agent, LeBron James' agent as well. Very, very tight with LeBron. And this is kind of insane because you see Bronny James' stats, obviously 5 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 36% from the field, not that efficient going to the basket, all those types of things. There are question marks about his ability to play at the NBA level, but the Raptors have been linked on multiple times over the course of this season. They were shown scouting him multiple points over the course of this year, and, basically, we've made a couple videos on it at this point. This isn't the first time that we're hearing reports, and now directly from the agent's mouth, Bronny James being linked to the Toronto Raptors, being linked in these sort of trade discussions and conversation or draft discussions and conversations. But the wild part about this for me is over the past week or so, we've heard Bronny James turning down workout after workout, not trying to go to different teams, not trying to get his, increase his draft stock with these different organizations. And to bring this quote up here again, from Rich Paul, in the Toronto Raptors second, they can take him without even seeing him at pick 31. Workouts aren't everything for these teams. So that's essentially implying, because we've heard previous reports that yes, the Raptors obviously weren't among the couple teams that were named, obviously the LA Lakers and the Phoenix Suns, as the two definite squads that have been linked to Bronny James in the NBA draft. And the Phoenix Suns have also been talked about selecting him at pick 22, which I think is absolutely wild, absolutely ludicrous if he ends up going that high, averaging 5 points per game in college. No matter how great of a high school prospect he is, no matter how great he can potentially be, given his dad and stuff, and all that, you land LeBron James if you draft Bronny James. Crazy if he ends up getting selected number 22. But basically, the Phoenix Suns, LA Lakers are the two teams that have been linked most to Bronny James, have worked him out, and then no other team has he accepted workouts for. So essentially, Rich Paul is coming out saying, hey, Masai Ujiri loves Bronny James, and he might just go ahead and select him without actually working him out. And one of the more valuable picks in this year's NBA draft, the top of the lottery, the top of the second round in this one is night one of the second round of the NBA draft. And that night, teams have a full day to prepare to try and trade up to get their guys that may have slipped out of the first round. So that first overall pick in the second round is way more valuable this year than it would have been in previous seasons. So essentially, Rich Paul's naming Masai, naming Toronto, trying to get the draft stock up high, get this happening. Frank, I don't see a world where he ends up getting selected at 31. Maybe he'll live up to the potential. The guy did have a heart issue in high school, had dealt with, I don't know if it's heart attack is the correct medical term, but dealt with some heart issues. So maybe this first year of college was just a bit of a write-off. That's why his stats were bad. He was a McDonald's All-American high school player, so maybe he'll level up, especially with the attention and the training that LeBron James, being the son of LeBron James, can kind of net you with those resources in that aspect. But I still don't think, unless you're getting guaranteed you're going to land LeBron James, which it doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, news has come out that Rich Paul said that LeBron James is not signing with the Phoenix Suns on a veteran's minimum contract. So we can rule that out of the table, rule that out of the equation, that he'll come to Toronto on a cheap contract or something along those lines. But unless it's a guaranteed, we get LeBron James, who he himself has still put up amazing stats. I mean, 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. LeBron James is still LeBron James. He's still a beast, an absolute phenom out there in the NBA, but is getting older, not getting that many years left of LeBron. Probably would just want one season with Bronny, to close off his career, to ride off into the sunset. So even with that one season, it's tough to waste a first round pick, whatever's going on in that scenario, without even the guarantee of him coming to your organization, to your squad. And we've seen so many guys, Masai Ujiri could potentially draft with this late first that we have, with the second, if we bring it up, Masai's picture, Kel'el Ware it's kind of rumored to go all over the first round. This draft has just been extremely unpredictable in terms of where players could potentially land, where players could potentially go, and then to just waste a draft pick on Bronny James. That would be a wild move. The Toronto Raptors do need someone at the backup point guard position, and Bronny James is a bit of a 1 and 2, so he could step in, and he is an elite defender, so he can come in and immediately guard at the NBA level, according to what the scouts are saying. But he's also a solid shooter, even if his percentages weren't that great in college. But his defense and his specifically passing are the two areas that have NBA-ready skills, which in a draft where there are a lot of question marks in regards to players, that's at least a positive to sort of come into the situation if you're trying to make these moves, try to make these selections. But, oh no, the Toronto Raptors draft Zach Edey and then at number 19, and then draft Bronny James at number 31. That would be by far the most polarizing, most insane set of selections that the Raptors could go in. I wouldn't be shocked if we are interested in drafting Bronny James, that we'd actually trade back into the second round. We move on from the 31st overall pick, and then get some future seconds, get future draft capital, and then select him at 50th or something, whatever you can kind of maneuver and make those deals out of, right? But even then, I'd be shocked if Masai Ujiri goes out of his way to bring in the circus of LeBron James, the spotlight that you're going to get with him coming into the roster, especially if he doesn't get minutes. There's going to be a lot of criticism thrown the way of Darko Rajaković and stuff. So it's a bold move. It's shocking that the agent of LeBron and Bronny, Rich Paul, came out and directly name dropped the Toronto Raptors. Masai Ujiri, that relationship there. The Mavericks seem like a more interesting team with their late second round pick. The Timberwolves are also an interesting squad. LeBron finishing his career in Minnesota would be absolutely insane. From the LA Lakers to the Minnesota Lakers, no, the T-Wolves. But folks, I don't know. You guys are the best thing as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.